What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right, you know how Jay-Z say, this one might offend my political connects, right? I just got to keep it a buck. I'm sorry, guys. I might offend my political connects with this one, meaning the ladies, right? Sisters, queens, I love y'all, right? And if we can't call each other out when we wrong, who can, right? And I'm not saying that you're 100% wrong, but I'm going to say in some situations, y'all may do a little too much. How about that? Can we agree to disagree that y'all may have done a little too much in regards to Kevin Samuels? And hear me out before y'all start clicking the dislike button and start saying that I'm a misogynist supporter, right? I feel like my queens, y'all have done a little too much in regards to celebrating when this man unexpectedly died of a heart attack, heart failure. I'm going to read this part of how the story went. Kevin Samuels, a controversial YouTuber, was rushed to the hospital Thursday night after being found unresponsive in his apartment shortly after complaining of chest pains. The Atlanta Police Department said that the officers responded to a call on Thursday regarding a person injured and discovered Samuels unresponsive on the floor of his apartment. The woman staying with Samuels in his apartment told police he had complained of chest pain and fell on top of her. He was rushed to the emergency room Thursday. Reports that Samuels passed away began to flood social media on Friday, and Samuels' mother, Beverly Samuels Birch, confirmed to NBC News that her son passed away. And before this was even official, a lot of my queens was dancing a jig, right? I want to talk about this. I want to unpack this. And like I said, I may offend my political connections. Somebody's going to be upset with old chuckwick. And we'll be fine. We'll get past this together, all right? We'll get past this together. Let me read this last little part because it's important. Samuels, who's approximately 57 years old, is known for his controversial takes on lifestyle and relationships and has called himself an image consultant. All of this is important. Samuels has previously been called out for some of his views, which some argue are a direct attack on black women, and his YouTube channel has 1.43 million subscribers. This man died, right? And it's a slippery slope when someone dies and then you have to tell the truth about that person. It's slippery, right? When Big Mama dies and everybody's at the funeral saying how great Big Mama was, and all you remember is all them times Big Mama got that switch and beat you till you was bloody. Or Big Mama called you out your name and hit you upside the head. Or Big Mama told you couldn't go somewhere you really wanted to go. After a while, Big Mama wasn't all that sweet. But it was still Big Mama, and everybody's giving her all this praise at the funeral. That's what funerals are for. That's what we do. And I get it. It's a touchy slope when someone passes and you got negative feelings about them, right? So let's talk about why are you women so mad at Kevin Samuels? Kevin Samuels was, in essence, a shock jock. He found his niche. He went viral one day talking to women. They was asking him questions, and he went viral with his answers. He went so viral that a lot of women started to reach out even more to him for his opinion. Literally everything you watch on YouTube is someone's opinion, whether it's sweet, it's kind or whatever, or it's mad rude and ignorant and it's bullyish. It's their opinion. This guy amassed 1.4 million people wanting to hear his opinion. That's just on YouTube. And his Instagram has just as many people, all of his platforms. They wanted to hear what he had to say, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? Now let's talk about what he said. A lot of things he said, I'm gonna be honest, I watched sparingly. I was not a big time fan. I was not a guy that sat and listened to this man's every word. I don't do anything like I don't listen to nobody's every word, right? I'll watch you here and there, I'll check in here and there. I rarely followed him on anything because I didn't really, I didn't find, I saw it for what it was, right? I saw it for what it was. A lot of people take people way too serious. And it's like anything else that if you take it too serious, then it becomes very serious. It's a lot of stuff I believe. It's a lot of stuff I don't believe. So I'm not going to sit and let one person rile me up every day trying to contradict what they believe. It's certain YouTubers that I used to follow that I liked. After a while, I started to see that they're reaching and they're preaching nonsense and it makes no sense. So I unfollow them and I'll move on. I don't wish bad things for them. There's a lot of YouTubers, white, black, Asian, all kind of colors, races, that I begin to see this ain't cool. And I just move on. I don't develop a hatred because I understand this is a business. Your business is to, people don't click it unless it has some type of shock value. It's just a fact, right? You clicked on Shade Room to be shocked. Oh my gosh, how dare he say that? How dare she do this? I can't believe those two are together. I can't believe those two broke up. You want to be shocked. You want to be entertained. And YouTubers understand that. And Kevin Samuels understand that. And yes, his views, some of them are controversial, but some of them are dead right. Right? And when this man passed away, I didn't want to believe that these women would be this giddy about it. Like it was first it was slowly, had a couple friends post like, oh, guess karma came or whatever, or they'll be like with the sipping the tea, oh, he talked all this about a woman and he died with a woman abundant, like just a bunch of little snarky stuff. I was like, okay. And then it became really serious where, oh no, these women are 80% are really mad and really happy. And they're really clapping. They're clapping their hands, stomping their feet that this man just died of a heart attack, somebody's son, right? So I'm like, why? I knew they didn't like him, but I thought when you passed away, you kind of got some kind of grace. And here comes Vivica A. Fox, right? I see the video of her today on a podcast. I believe it's called Queens. It's something, she was on Fox Soul TV, right? And she's saying that it's karma. And as a matter of fact, it's called Cocktails with Queens on Fox Soul, which is like a spinoff of like, whatever. It's a black channel, which is cool. We need black channels. But this is her statements I'm going to read, right? She believes he's a misogynist and a hypocrite, right? And she says that karma came knocking at the door. And this is what she wrote. This man was a hypocrite in my honest opinion. To me, he was a shock jock. I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So the fact that he killed over real quick was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality, ... Rest in peace, with an eyebrow raise. She later scoffed at him, calling himself a great catch, and noted that he lived in an apartment despite dubbing himself high value. Lisa Ray was also on there, and she said that sometimes when you are trying to help, it has to come in a kind way. Right? We are black, we are family, she added. My condolences to his family. So all the hosts, is like 4 women on here, 4 women of impeccable taste and stature. But I want to unpack what just happened, right? So Vivica A. Fox, which if you don't know, Vivica A. Fox is a person like we revered her for what she did. She did a lot of great work. She did a lot of classic movies. She's in Independence Day. She's in Set It Off. She's in quite a few of our. She's in Kill Bill. She's in quite a few of the movies we hold dear. And we love Vivica Fox, and we loved what she appeared to represent, right? Which was high class, smart, articulate black woman who was confident in who she was, and she knew who she was as a person. But I also have to say that once I dug a little deeper into these comments, I realized that 50 Cent and Vivica Fox's relationship is at the center of her comments with Kevin Samuels, because Kevin Samuels had a clip out there where he pretty much made fun of Vivica Fox for still being in love with 50 Cent 17 years later. And he talked badly about her looks, right? As of now, he said she used to be hot, this and that. And by her body language and tone, you can tell she had an issue with this man beyond him saying things, what he said about so-called quote-unquote black women, right? You can tell it was personal. It wasn't just, oh, he's very negative to black women. That wasn't this kind of, I know my sisters, right? You can tell when they really saying one thing, but they really mean another. And she was like, it's karma. No, but it really was these comments that he said about her in regards to 50. She hasn't let nobody forget. She hasn't forgiven nobody who had something to say when that 50 stuff was going on. And every time it comes back up, anybody that says anything, it's a problem, right? So I think this is deeper on Vivica's account. Her sharpness against Kevin Samuels is a little bit more than what most of these women are having an issue. Because most of these women, he didn't say them directly to them. He said her name directly. And he said she was more hurt by 50 Cent than 50 Cent was by her. He said it was 17 years ago on a 4-month relationship, and you're still mad. And you used to be hot. Then that's hurtful. So if you don't think she's remembering what he said about her, when she's calling this karma, right? And he's a misogynist and all this stuff, you don't think deep down she feel this way and this strongly enough to speak about this man based on what he said about her? I'm going to let you decide, but I already know what it is. I already know she feels a way because he directly said something about her. But even still, let's talk about Kevin Samuels, the man, right? I seen Kevin Samuels on a show called Fresh and Fit. And it was 3 white women and the hosts of the show was like 3 other people. And this exchange, he laid into this white lady so bad that they ended up having to start just trying to ignore him. Because he kept telling this lady she was unrealistic in what she was expecting from men. He was asking her, well, what do you bring to the table? And everything she brought she was trying to be like really quick-witted and like, but it wasn't working. I guess she was used to guys who didn't want to say nothing rude to her. She was one of these people that if you're not being rude to her, you're losing the conversation, right? It's people like that they're mad rude. So if you're trying to be nice and a good guy, you're losing. Because they're going to snap you right out of existence, right? You're not going to get a word in. They're going to overtalk you. And she had 2 other girls there with her, so you know that's 3 women against 1. But this guy was asking her, do you think you get privileges because you're pretty? He said, men don't get that. Women have that option to get stuff because they're pretty. You can get in the club free. You can get in the club with no ID. You can get in the VIP without nothing if you're pretty. And she's like, yeah, but. He's like, no, but that's a double standard. And he kept telling this woman, you're trying to speak for women who aren't pretty. It's women out here that are not pretty. and they want the same treatment, but you get it. So that's why you're coming from a place of you don't understand what these other women are going through. And you don't understand what these men are going through. And you have these high expectations, but you don't want to bring nothing to the table but pretty. And he was right. He was like, you want a man to do this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, your entire existence is just to be pretty. But this man got to have 6, 7 figures. He got to have this car, that car, this kind of job, this, do this and that for you, take you everywhere. You don't got to do nothing but be pretty. And it's a problem. And there's a lot of men out here who are quickly judged by what they look like, what they own, how much they make, where they live, in seconds, snap judgment. Right? By a woman who don't have much more than that man. It's just a fact. So, what in essence, and I'm telling you, I didn't listen to this guy a lot. I wasn't a big, let me see what Kevin Samuels talking. I wasn't doing that. But when I did watch it, it was usually a woman calling in. He would ask them their age, their salary, and how many kids they had. And they would say, I have XYZ, I got 2 kids, da da da. And he would stop them and say, and you're looking for what kind of man? And then it would be, oh my God, he got to be into computer science. He got to make 6 figures. He's like, well, how much do you make? She'll be like, well, I make $60,000. Oh, but you want, so he got to have all this, but you don't got to bring nothing to the table. He was like, this term, high value man, became very popular, and high value woman. And he was like, so you're expecting to bag a high value man when you got 2 kids, you're barely making enough to pay your own bills, you got mad baggage with you, and you're like a hot 7 at best. He was like, do you know what these men's options are? He's like, a guy that you're describing would not even take a date with you. And it was 100% fact. But what happens is, and again, my sisters, I'm trying to tell you, I'm not here to offend you, and I'm not taking up for this guy. But women will ask a man a question, but they want a woman's answer. It's just a fact. You will ask a guy a man's question. You want, just be honest with me. Just be honest. Tell me the truth. You want the truth. Then when that truth comes out, when a guy says it blunt, because a lot of women don't want to hear, they're going to overtalk you, this and that. This guy will stop you, which is rude. He'll be like, let's stop talking. That right there will set you in a whole different mood. And then he'll tell you something blunt like, this guy he would never date you. The man will never tell you that, but he just won't never call you. So what I saw, I know a lot of women have dug deep and saw all these different heinous comments, which is what you're going to get with a shock job. These heinous comments and these moments of just arrogance. And yes, it was a lot of it. Sometimes it was too much. Even when I'm sitting and watching, I'm like, bro, that ain't right. It's archaic stuff. I get it. But the bottom line, what a lot of those women tuned in to hear was, quote unquote, the truth. Now, all the other stuff, his own personal views, and that he was divorced twice, and he was subletting, all that stuff is relative to whatever you want to make it into, right? But end of the day, they were calling to hear how they ranked up in this man's eyes, in which they related to other men would rank them the same way. Now, we're in a harsh society. Women are extremely harsh to men. If you go on any Twitter feed right now, this chick, most of these chicks got some really harsh things to say about men. It's all day, every day. Right? All day, every day. Men ain't this, men ain't that. And get a lot of likes. Get a lot of hand clapping, foot stomping, and agreement. But if there comes along a man unapologetically saying the same things, right back to a woman, it becomes a villain. He becomes a villain, and you're clapping your hands when he dies of a heart attack. You know that ain't right. You know it ain't right to clap for somebody dying. Let's just start there. That's where I'm disappointed. You know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. That's karma that you're putting out at that point. I don't care what he said. You could have just turned it off. But end of the day, these women who are celebrating this man's death are disappointing. Once a person died, it's over. Whatever you had going on is gone. It's gone. It's over. Let the man rest in peace. But they're dredging him up. They're dredging up his past. They're dredging up everything. They're doing more for the man now than when he was dead. His video's going through the roof. Hopefully his mom gets all the money that's coming to him now, right? Women are making excuses to be evil. They're making excuses to say hateful things about a dead person. I can't condone it. I can't jack that. And I cannot stand by while you guys take yourselves down a road of karma that you can't come back from, right? I feel like as heinous as some of the things he said were, we're losing sight that a lot of women wanted to hear that. It was more women in them. It's been proven. It's more women in those followers than men. Because the women wanted to hear what he had to say. So there must have been value to it to somebody. There's a lot of women right now defending him in his death. So to somebody, it was valuable. I don't like a lot of stuff Joe Rogan said. There's a lot of stuff a lot of people say. Dane Calloway, a lot of people. I can go on and on, right? I can name a lot of people that some of their stuff rubbed me the wrong way, right? I don't wish death on them. And that's all I'm saying, Queen. And I know you got a lot of reasons. Well, he constantly called black women fat. And I've heard a lot of reasons for you to ruin your own karma. And I don't think none of them are valid reasons to ruin your own walk into heaven, for lack of a better word. Ain't none of them good enough for you to mess your own trip into heaven up. And that's all I want to say. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did Kevin Hart deserve to die for the things he said? Or is it too much? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, right? So you can get notified of upcoming episodes. In my playlist, I got an album called Force Multipliers. Me and Ugly Professor did something. It's different. It's different. Check it out. Also, every Wednesday, Clash the Podcast. Me, Dante, and Flares live on all of my social platforms. At the same time, we talk about nothing but hip-hop. And essentialvarieties.org is a great website where you can buy all of your essential toiletries and things of that nature at great prices, better than a lot of the places you're going to buy it from right now. Check it out. It's black owned and is on the legit level. Essentialvarieties.org. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.